The story begins on a bright morning where streams of students flood the sidewalks heading for Kaun High School. In the middle of the crowd walks Kijun, seemingly stunning and elegant. Heads turn, and whispers follow her students, pointing out how beautiful she is, some even trying to greet her. But she walks on silently, not acknowledging anyone. It's not out of pride or aloofness. In fact, this is her main issue throughout the entire series. She doesn't know how to be social or interact with people around her. When Kijun enters the school, she pulls out her phone, and we see that she's a big deal on the Insta app, which, by the way, is one of the most important social media platforms in their world. All the students use this app constantly, posting about everything that happens during their day. Kijun walks up the stairs full of confidence, but then a shock. Two boys come rushing down and bump into her by accident. She gets really upset with them, but it turns out to be a good thing. It snaps her out of a daydream. Everything up until that moment was just her imagination. In reality, Kijun is nothing like the girl in her fantasy. She's not popular, not particularly beautiful in the eyes of her classmates, and worse, she's practically invisible. The two boys don't even recognize her or remember if she's in their class. Kijun brushes herself off, hurt but unsurprised. That sinking feeling follows her, the realization that she's struggling with something deeper. She doesn't know how to connect with others. At school, she observes her classmates completely absorbed in Insta, the dominant social media app that governs every student's popularity. The app is their universe, posts, comments, photos, it's all about validation and visibility. But Kijun doesn't know what to say, how to act, or how to make her presence known. She tries posting something attention-grabbing, nothing works. She even attempts to use AI to draft content, but it only frustrates her more. She mutters to herself louder than she realizes. A classmate nearby hears her, but instead of reacting with kindness, he says something that crushes her. He didn't even realize she was there. This cuts deep. It confirms everything she fears, that she's invisible, even when she speaks. As the class president Choi steps up to make announcements, Kijun watches in admiration. Choi is everything she isn't. Charismatic, popular, respected. She commands the room with ease. When Choi announces that they'll spend PE class indoors, everyone cheers more time for Insa. Later, two students walk in late, one of them being Kanjo, a handsome boy with an effortless smile. Kijun is intrigued. She watches how people gravitate toward him. He jokes with Choi, and Kijun overhears that he's training to become a celebrity. His charm is undeniable, and Kijun convinces herself that his looks must be the reason he's so social. After school, Kijun calls her mom to ask about dinner, only to find out her entire family went out to eat without telling her. She's stunned. Her mom says she simply forgot. Hanging up, Kijun walks home disheartened. When someone accidentally bumps into her on the street, her frustration bubbles over. But as she storms off, she doesn't notice that the person turns back to look at her, almost as if they recognize her. Back home, Kijun tries once more to connect on Insta, posting something simple and hopeful. Still, no responses. The next day, on her way to gym class, something unexpected happens. Kanjo forgets his phone and asks to borrow hers. Stunned but eager, Kijun hands it over. As she watches him use it, she's overwhelmed by his presence and wants to strike up a conversation, but fear wins. When he returns her phone, he casually reminds her not to miss gym class, mentioning he's heading to the nurse. It's a short, simple interaction, but for Kijun, it's monumental. Someone finally noticed her. At gym, Kijun sits alone while the others laugh and bond. Her thoughts drift back to Kanjo. It feels like a small breakthrough. Later, she overhears her classmates excitedly talking about a lipstick someone brought to class. When they return after PE and find it missing, they immediately blame Kijun since she was the last person in the room. She tries to defend herself, but her voice is weak, barely audible. As she attempts to escape the situation, Kanjo walks in and intervenes. He tells the others that he, not Kijun, was the last one in the classroom. He spots the lipstick, returns it, and scolds them for accusing her without thinking. The moment feels like salvation. Someone stood up for her. Kijun is overwhelmed with gratitude. When she tries to thank Kanjo, he doesn't hear her. Worse, when he calls her by name, he gets it wrong. Her heart sinks again. As she waits for the bus, something strange happens. She finds a phone left behind. Curious, she picks it up and realizes It's logged into an admin account on Insta. She now has access to anonymous posts and identities, everything. This phone changes everything. Kijun now sees behind the curtain. She can tell who's saying what and who's hiding behind anonymous comments. She even discovers that Kanjo was the one who asked those boys to return and apologize to her on the first day. The next day, a new group of students visit Kanjo's talent agency. They're reporters hoping to catch a glimpse of the rising stars, but the trainees are forbidden to show their faces in public. Just as they're about to give up, Kanjo unknowingly walks by and is caught on camera. His photo goes viral on Insta. At school, Kanjo continues to impress. He dominates in basketball and ranks first in academics. The teacher congratulates him publicly. Kijun, meanwhile, clutches the phone she found, wishing she could run Insta herself. Then it hits her. She is the admin now. A few days later, a new transfer student arrives. He has an intense aura, almost like a soldier. He introduces himself to the class, and when Kanjo greets him, the new student asks probing questions about Kanjo's supposed training, making him visibly nervous. Outside, Kijun overhears classmates talking about a mysterious video that was posted and quickly deleted. Curious, she checks the phone and finds the video. It's a boy singing terribly, and it's clearly Kanjo. When she confronts him in private, he denies it. She tells him she'll delete it, but only if he agrees to one thing: confess his feelings for her in front of everyone. Kanjo is shocked, but she explains that she wants to become popular on Insta, and this is the only way. At first he refuses, but eventually he agrees. Still, he's angry. He calls her plan ridiculous. She tells him to come up with a better idea himself. That night, Kijun sees a trend on Insta. People are confessing their love on Confession Day. She imagines Kanjo making the announcement in public and gets excited, but Kanjo, alone in his room, is stressed and unsure how to proceed. At school the next day, couples are forming everywhere. The pressure is high. Kijun runs into the new student who seems to know her from the past. Later, Kanjo steps in during an awkward moment in the courtyard. He shields Kijun from splashing water and uses the moment to finally confess. The crowd is stunned. Afterwards, Kijun walks away silently. On the stairs, she runs into the new guy again, who reminisces about a childhood memory when both he and Kanjo caught her during a fall. He later tells his agency director he wants to graduate from Kaun High not because of fame, but for someone from his past. Kanjo confronts Kijun about the new student. She explains their shared past. Kanjo brings up the confession and says she still isn't popular as promised. She suggests she should publicly reject him to gain even more attention. Furious, Kanjo storms off. They agree. He'll help her become social. He starts coaching her on how to stand out and connect with people. Inspired, Kijun begins trying new things. She comforts sad students, participates in sports, and even tries to crack jokes but fails miserably every time. Kanjo tells her that she's doing it all wrong. She breaks down. He comforts her and reveals that he lied about being a trainee to protect himself from feeling ordinary. She tells him that even without fame, he'd still be popular. Then Kijun sees some students bullying Kanjo's friend, Mang. She starts sensing deeper issues. Meanwhile, the new student secretly sketches her. Choi, the class president, invites Kijun to join her lunch group. For the first time, she feels included. But Lee Young, the new student, teases her about her looks and past. Kijun is embarrassed and tells him to stop. He questions her feelings for Kanjo, suspecting they're driven by fame. Soon, Kijun's popularity rises. But Lee Young confronts Kanjo and accuses him of being a fraud. He grabs Kanjo and demands the truth. Kanjo believes Kijun betrayed him by telling Young. Tensions rise. Later, Kijun sees Lee Young being harassed and records it for evidence. When the attackers notice her, she bravely stands her ground. Kanjo arrives just in time to save her. They reconnect, and she tells him she never exposed his secret. Now, Kijun is trending on Insta. She's finally popular. She thanks Kanjo and asks him to continue teaching her. They begin working as a team again. But Lee Young doesn't back down. He mocks Kanjo for lying and insists he doesn't deserve Kijun. The two clash constantly. A video contest is announced, and Kijun wants to enter. She asks for help, but everyone refuses. She's forced to rely on herself. Choi agrees to dance with her. But behind the scenes, Choi is jealous and harbors feelings for Kanjo. During rehearsals, she takes hidden pills and collapses right after their performance. Kijun rushes her to the nurse, who reveals that Choi took banned diet pills. Later, Choi angrily tells Kijun that she hates her. Kijun decides to tell the truth. Their confession was staged. Kanjo hesitates and Choi steals the admin phone. Kijun takes it back just in time. Kanjo releases a video confessing everything. His classmates turn on him, defacing his desk. Kijun and Lee Young stop them. Then, the school holds the video competition awards. Kanjo wins. He apologizes to everyone and promises to live honestly. Choi later meets with him and makes peace. Kijun watches, smiling. She returns the admin phone to where she found it and thanks Kanjo for everything. He confesses that he truly loves her. As the series ends, Kijun tells the viewers, "Everyone has something unique. If you want to be loved, stop trying to be someone else. Just be you." And with that, her story comes to a powerful, heartfelt close.